Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to go through some of the books that I brought back here from Pennsylvania, and I was gonna put them away. I have half of my books away, but I decided, why don't I do a video on books from grad school that I find really helpful. Probably for your future career, some things you should keep around and books that, will help you out. So I have a ton of books, like under me, there's a lot, trust me, there's a lot. But I picked out the ones that I feel like were the most useful. So I'm going to show you the books and then I'm going to tell you why I think they're useful. So this book is on consultation, on specifically school consultation. And I feel like depending on the school you're in, you might not do a lot of consultation, but I feel like this is really important for you to know how to do, because then let's say you switch jobs and there's a school that does want you to do consultation, or maybe you haven't, 2 years go by, all of a sudden you're providing consultation for a teacher. This book takes you like step through step for how you can do that, and we actually used it for my consultation class. Like, I'm just trying to get to the chapters. So it tells you like understanding the school culture, like that's something that you want to do, building the working relationship, communication skills, and that's how the chapters are broken down. So that's a good book. Another great book is on instructional assessment. So again, depending on the school, you might not always be the one in charge of this, but let's say that you're in a school that does not have like a MTSS system, but they want to put one in place. This would be perfect for that, because what kind of assessments can you use? How can you see where kids are at? And the thing that I really like about this book is it breaks it down. Like, for example, it has essential reading dimensions. So let me turn to it really quick. It's a whole chapter, but it breaks down like what kids should know. And then on the side here, it goes more into detail, like reading comprehension on this side. And then actually there's a whole chart that breaks down what it means and what questions you should ask to measure this. So I thought that's really important, because if you say a kid has like a reading problem, what does that mean? What part of reading? Is it the comprehension? Is it their fluency? Like how fast they can complete reading? What is it, And I feel like instructional assessment really helps you break that down and find out what part is most important. So I don't want to take forever on this video, so I'm going to try to go a little fast, but I'll show you the books. This, which I had to ring together, is actually a really good book though. It's Applied Behavioral Analysis, and it says for teachers, but honestly it's good for school psychs, and you can even share this with teachers. So basically breaks down, like, for example, let's say that you're trying to figure out how often a behavior is happening. It has the different types of observations that you can do to measure that. And it basically just has a lot of different ways that you can collect data. So, the Academic Skills Problem Workbook by Shapiro. I think this is also a really good book. I feel like in grad school I didn't really use it much, but I think this would be good to have in the schools. I mean, it has the boss in here for behavioral observations, and it just has a lot of different things that you could do, and different like rating scales, like academic performance rating scale, and then you turn to the next page and look, they have a rating scale. So it's a really good workbook, like if you're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, like I want to do a behavioral observation, turn to this, find the page. This is a really good book for that. I hope that this is all making sense, because I'm going really fast, but if you have any questions too or want more detail on a specific book, or you want a book on a specific topic, you can comment down below or message me, and then I can see, if any of the books that I had relate to that really well. This book on interventions is like the best book ever. It has interventions for almost anything, which is really helpful, especially when you're writing reports and you're trying to figure out, or not even writing reports, but if a kid comes in and it's like, oh, they seem to have a problem with math fluency. Oh, they do? Turn to the back or the front, look up math fluency interventions. They have it for different ages. This book, this one right here, one of my top favorites. I have the RTI Approach in here, and I feel like this is a good book, but not necessarily when you're out in your career, but it can be, because again, if you're in a school that does not have an RTI system and they want to put it in place, this would be something good to review so that then you can help them along with that. I felt like it was really good for grad school though, because it helped explain what RTI is, and I know you hear it all the time, but it gives a lot of good detail on that. So I feel like this is a good book to keep handy. Another book that is a workbook, and it kind of just has things that you can photocopy in here. Now the thing is that if someone wants this book, you have to be trained to get it, but if you can get your hands on it, if you can get trained and get your hands on it, it's really helpful, because for example, let's say that you are doing consultation and you're trying to operationally define a behavior. They have the chart for that for instructional consultation. It's amazing. And then since you can just fold it around, it's easy to make copies when you need it. I feel like this book is perfect for someone who knows nothing about school psychology, aka me, when I started grad school, and we had this in my first grad school class on school psychology. And after that class and after this book, I felt so much better. Of course, there's so much more for me to learn, but at least I went from not really knowing much about school psych, just everything from my own research, to having this book along with my other classes, but that helped a lot. So if there's anyone interested in it, or you were kind of in my position and you want to learn more about it, that book's good. And then it's good to keep around, because what if you meet someone else that has questions about it? I'm gonna put these two books together because essential books in general are amazing, just because they give you very detailed, whatever the topic is. So this would be really detailed on the WJ achievement. This would be very detailed on the WJ abilities, and it gets into the nitty gritty. And I don't mean necessarily it's good to have these books on the WJ. For example, I don't have the WJ. I use the Whisk and the Wyatt, but just essential books in general are really good. So if you see essentials of something, really good books. And last but not least, this is an amazing book to keep around forever. I know that my professors continually kept saying that, you'll want to keep this book. And I mean, if there's a new edition, then you'll probably want that one. But this book, it goes over everything. I don't really know how to break it down. This is an amazing book. Let me just go to the table of contents, because I really can't give you an example. I mean, everything that you need. So it goes from challenges that you can have in assessing children. That's what it starts out with. It goes to different types of intelligence measures. How valid are they? It breaks down, how there's fluid reasoning, knowledge, all of that. It breaks it down, what is that? It has the Whisk in here, the Whipsy. It has historical survey of theories, how you interpret these things. It has WJ. It's just a very helpful book to have. And I feel especially if, let's say you have a kid and you are kind of stuck on how to interpret their results, go into this book, guys. So that's everything that I have for now. Like I said, I have a whole bunch more books. Honestly, let me show you all the books that I have. So like I said, I have a whole bunch more books down here. But the ones that I showed you are the ones that I find to be some of the best books in grad school and after grad school, things to keep around, things that you might want. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos, and I am so glad that you watched all the way to the end. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.